Well, hi everybody. Welcome back to RC Mechanic Garage. Believe it or not, this is a brand new truck. It's never been run. I actually did the unboxing video on this, but I lost the video. So I got frustrated after, losing multiple videos. And I just threw it on the shelf. But I figure, since we just got done with the Sport Cruiser, maybe we should work on the Toyota Land Cruiser. Like I said, this truck has never been run. This is a FMS. FJ45, I believe it's a 45. You can correct me if you want. Extremely scale truck, okay, and it was really cheap, but it has some issues that needs to be dealt with. One being suspension, and if the differentials are anything like my Rock Hobby Michigan, they're most likely dry as a bone. Now the transmission wasn't on that truck, but the differentials were. So what we're going to do today is we're going to address the suspension, because that's it right there. And the body roll is just incredibly excessive. Okay, the shocks that are in here are not the kind that you can put oil in. They're basically just shock looking with a spring. Okay, so I'm going to see if I have shocks that are pretty similar to these that will work. Maybe throw some different tires on it. I don't know. I have a set of race wheels and tires with tires mounted on race line rims. Yeah, let's throw them on there. Let's see what it looks like, right? Let's go ahead and look at the engine bay, the interior, and the rear of this thing, because a bunch of doors open up. Alright, so the really cool thing about this truck is it does come with lights, right? Even though this headlight is pointing way off into the ditch, and that one's pointing way off on the other side of the ditch, they're there, right? And they work. I believe the headlights work, these here lights work. I'm not sure about the side markers. But let's take a look at the engine bay. In the engine bay we have the speed controllers up here. There's a servo here because the steering wheel turns when you go left or right with the steering. It actually turns the steering wheel up in here. That's pretty cool. 550 can engine motor in there. Planetary gear system transmission. It's all plastic. And your steering servo is right up there. Battery sits right here. If you look really close, you can see the shocks right here, and yeah, they're basically just shock looking. That's it, and that's part of what we're going to work on today. Let's take a look at the interior. I believe these doors, if I'm right, you turn them. Oh yeah, just like that. Let me get you in here so you can see what's going on. Alright, so if you look at the inside of this thing, I mean, the detail is just incredible. Incredible. Like I said, the steering wheel up here, it turns back and forth. That's pretty cool for a really, low price truck. I forgot what I paid for it, but it wasn't that much. So let's go ahead and open up the other side. Okay. The other side. Let me just look at that door panel. That's exactly how I remember these things, and I'm, okay. I'm a little older than a lot of you. Okay. Steering wheel, dash, looks all legit. Gear shifters, the pedals, everything looks legit. Alright. Want to look at the back? I do. Alright, so the back opens up a little different. I believe it goes like this. Yeah, this part goes up, and then these open up like this. And if we look in there, all right, so these here are these bench seats right here are supposed to be able to fold up, but if I remember right, when I was trying to do that, I was afraid I was going to break something, because like they're in there tight, like really tight. Okay, but if you look at the back, I mean, yeah, you can't argue it. I mean, you could if you want to, but I suppose, but yeah. So this just snaps in. I can probably see these coming open on the trail. The side doors up there in the front, not so much. Let's see what we got. Okay. Mostly. There we go. Now it's shut all the way. Okay. And then it comes with a roof rack. It came with this. I did not put this on. This truck is exactly how I got it, except for the parts I put on that came with it. You know, being like rear license plate. Not a big fan of California, but I put it on anyway. Probably change it to something else. These rear bumpers. And then we have like the license plate holder up here, all that. You know, go ahead and just soak this thing in. It's pretty incredible. So it's a great base to start off with, right? Because it just, well, it is. I mean, everything's there, you know. If you're a scale type person, I'm not really so much. It would be a great base to build off of, right? Instead of having to build it all. That's what I'm thinking. Alright, so I think it's time that we look at the shocks. I'm not going to do the differentials right away. I want to look at them shocks. I want to make sure I can do something with that. If I can, well, I mean, that's a big hurdle right there. Take a look at that. Right there. Right there. What a difference, right? Put some real shocks on the left side. I actually kind of feel sorry for these tires because they've been used as a mock-up but never found a home. They will though. The old shocks versus the new shocks. Here's what we have. Like a 65 millimeter. The black ones are the original. 65 millimeters, 70. Right here. 5 millimeters makes a difference. Anyone tells you any different, you just let them know. Alright, from the underside, king shocks. The king shocks, right here. These are oilable. These are not. It's important to remember that, because if you're going to do anything like tune the suspension or whatever, especially on a truck that's so top heavy like this one, you need to be able to do that. And the way this thing was rocking back and forth, you know, it just wasn't going to happen with the original ones. Original ones were about 64 point some, almost 65. Right? And the new ones are like 70. We have new shocks in the back. Need to work on that one a little bit more. New shocks in the front. Maybe a little bit too much oil in the front ones, okay? But I went ahead and I mounted the tires on these wheels. Tell me what you think of that, you know? I mean, we throw these up here. I think that'll look pretty good. Also, I replaced these plastic hexes with these metal ones. These were 6 millimeter and there was a washer that went with it right there, which made it 6.5 millimeters. So I put 7mm hexes on here. It won't make a big difference unless, you know, I'm taking the wheels off or whatever, but at least I don't have to worry about losing a pin. Alright, so before I go ahead and throw the wheels on, we still haven't checked the differentials. Differentials need to be checked. I'm betting that they're going to be dry as a bone. We're going to find out in a minute. Alright, so I pulled the screws out. There's only 4 on here. And just going to take this cover off. And voila. Just as I suspected. Dry as a bone, basically. There's no grease in there. Let's go ahead and over grease it like I always do. I feel a lot better about that. Actually, what I'm going to do is go ahead and put a little bit right up in there. And in there. Hey there. Alright. Way over greased. Just the way I like it. Alright, so looking at the front, I bet it's the same. And it is. Good thing I have my grease out already, because I'm going to go ahead and over grease it. Let's see. We'll go a little bit here. Go there. Go there. Go. Right over here. Sure is a whole lot better than it was before. It's most likely too much, but that's fine. When it squishes out, that's when you know you got enough. I'm going to go ahead and this all cinched up. I'll take care of that shock issue. Those shocks. I think I have like 3. Got too much oil in them. Take care of those, and then we'll put some wheels on it. See what it looks like. What do you think of that? For a truck that hasn't been run before, it has come a long way. Only a few things I've done to it. I mean, we have shocks. I changed the tire. I didn't change tires. I changed the wheels. Right. Went with these trio wheels, weighted, and with the whole body roll thing. I mean, look at this. It's like non-existent now. looks a lot different from the last time, huh? At least a few minutes ago. The first run on this thing was really good. I gotta tell you, really good. And for the most part, I really didn't do a whole lot to it. All I did was, well, these are the original tires with Trio aluminum wheels. They're weighted, okay? Put different shocks in it. Made sure that there was grease in the differentials, because there wasn't. And I think it performed really well. As long as this wheelbase is, I mean, it makes it really good for like climbing over stuff, right? Since it's a hard body, it's still top heavy, okay? It is a lot better. Since I didn't run this before, I guess I can't tell you the difference. But I know sitting on this table right here, before I put the shocks in, basically lifted it a little bit, 5 millimeters. 5 millimeter difference in shocks. There were 65s in there, and there's 70s in there right now. Yeah, it's so much better, a lot more stable. And as wide as it is, that helps too. Like the Sport Cruiser, you know, I didn't have to go with deep dish wheels up here. And as far as wheels go, I like these gray. I think these gray go really well with this truck. Kind of looks stock, right? Kinda. I'm not much of a scale guy. Sometimes I get a little crazy, but you know, I'm just not much of one. Anyway, I'm really impressed with how it did in the mud. I mean, a person could say all they want about these tires. What are they, Ripsaws? I forget the name of them. Anyway, this is just a cheap, this is what came with the truck, right? But they worked really well in the mud. On the rocks, I'm not so sure. Because after a while, after they've been, you know, on the shelf for a couple years and they get all hard, they don't grip like they did before. The 46 Dodge is kind of proof of that, because when that was new and I ran it, it would dig into anything. But now the tires are getting kind of hard, crusty. They just don't grip like they used to. But I suppose you could do something with that if you wanted to. I mean, you could take like a, you know, douse them down with a silicone spray once in a while, help keep them more pliable. Yeah, the only damage that happened was, well, I didn't have the battery strapped in good enough, so it fell out the bottom and it looked like the roof popped up in the front. But that just snapped back down in place. Should we do anything else to it? I'm thinking lighting up the rest of this, since only the headlights work. I think I have another Gelande light kit around here, which is what I used on the Sport Cruiser, and we could install that in here. About the same amount of lights. You know, we got all the headlights. Tell me if you like them dim like this, or would you like them bright? Okay, leave a comment. Otherwise, I'll just go with whatever way the wind's blowing. Okay. We can light these up right here. Side markers right here. These side markers back here. And we can do the bumper. That should cover it all. And that light kit has enough lights for all of that. Okay. Since once I get it all in there, if I put that in there and I get it all in there, since I don't have to take the body off, like say to put a battery in or whatever, it goes under the hood, everything should be permanent. So yeah, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of the run. I thought I did awesome. It did tip over. No, it's not in the video, but it did tip over. Like I said, it's still top heavy. It's a hard body truck and it sits really high. Alright? So, but I think it did really well. For a cheap truck, yeah. Not sure how long it'll last. I mean, transmission is plastic, so planetary gear system. I'm not sure how strong them are. I haven't broke one yet. I'm sure if give me time I will. So Anyway, that wraps it up for this one. Maybe I'll put lights on it. I don't know. But if you watched all the way to the end, I would just want to tell you, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like the video, make sure to like, subscribe, share. And this is RC Mechanic Garage. I'll catch you in the next video.